Hi everybody, I'm back for video 150 of 365, another milestone that I'm hitting today. I'm Samantha and I'm a therapist and I'm creating a video every day for a full year. And it's helping me get over my fear of public speaking and the camera in general. And it took me a while to hit record on this dang camera, so this is really helping me. And my social anxiety that I was experiencing before and just fear in general, this is really helping me. So thank you all for watching. And yes, 150 videos. This is just nuts. And in about a month, I'll be halfway through this crazy experience. So it's really pretty cool. I'm enjoying it. And I don't get butterflies anymore when I turn the camera on. That is just like so amazing to me. So thank you all again for watching me ramble day after day for 150 days. I appreciate it. So today we're going to talk about checking the 3D. Oh my God, checking. Because I've been studying a lot lately, especially with doing a video every day. I try to bring some sort of freshness into each video, and that proved to be a little difficult the last few weeks because I was like, I think I've talked about everything, and I know I haven't talked about everything, but it feels like, you know, you kind of start talking about the same stuff in a way. But I'm trying to present things in a different way. And so I thought today would be fun to talk about checking and how we're addicted to checking things. And just like yesterday, we talked about, you know, being addicted to negativity, like negative feelings, thoughts, all of that. And I brought that up a little bit in yesterday's video and other videos too. But we're addicted to checking things. And like when you've planted a seed and you are wanting to, you know, manifest something, we do the work, we do the techniques that they tell us to do. We do our little affirmations and we do our scripting and we do our state akin to sleep, our SATs right before bed, and we visualize and we get into that state. And we're like, all right, I'm there. And then you go to sleep and you wake up the next day and you wonder why things have not changed. You start checking things. Well, where are the signs? What's happening? Why isn't this working right away? And so we get addicted to checking. And checking gives us kind of a dopamine shot in our brain. It's like, oh, that feels good to check. Okay, I checked. It's almost like the brain says, you've got to do something to make this happen. And that's not how this works. We have to remember that we're not actually manifesting anything. Technically, we're manifesting every single second. So every second we're alive, we're manifesting the whole entire, everything we're seeing, we're manifesting. So basically, when you're trying to, quote, manifest something specific, let's say, you're actually connecting to and aligning with a different version of yourself that already has that thing. So if you flip it kind of like that, instead of I'm manifesting a thing, we are connecting to the version of us who already has that. So your state is going to be a lot different than how you're thinking right now. So this ties back into self one versus self two, the old self versus the new self. So the old self, which is you right now, let's say, you're in a certain mental state of not having something that you want. That is your state. Not having. That is actually a state. Waiting is a state. Checking, I would say, is a state. That's a state. It's kind of I don't have this yet, so I need to check for signs because I've got to feel like I'm doing something. That is a state in itself. And so lack is a state, of course. Scarcity is a state, you know, all those things. Worry is a state. You know, that's what states are. They just are mental states and feelings, and everything's tied together, and it just keeps going from there. And so we have to kind of stop that. We have to disrupt this state from perpetuating and keeping going in a spiral, basically, where you're spiraling down and you don't feel so good. So we have to remember we're changing our state so that we are basically turning into the person that already has what we're wanting. So you have to think about, what would that person be thinking? What would they be believing? What would they be speaking? What would they be wearing? How would they be walking? You know, because If you look back at yourself 5 years ago, I'm sure you're a different person. If you just really think about it, there are probably at least a few things that you've changed about yourself, and you'll look back and be like, golly, why did I let that bother me before? And why was I attracted to this person, or this article of clothing even, or this food that you used to eat? And you'll just notice you're just different. And so what if in the next 5 years, you're a totally different person too? And I think that's exciting to think about. You know, you're changing states all day long. You just don't realize that you're moving up and down throughout your day. And so it's very valuable to know where you're at. And Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks, they have a what's called an emotional guidance scale. You can find that online. I'll try to link it below. Maybe I'll do that. You just go on this scale. It's like 22 different emotions. I actually have an updated version somewhere. Someday I will get to all this in my notes, in my archives. But I added a few in. I listened to Esther Hicks on her, like after COVID happened, she was doing, well, she still does them, but she does like live workshops. And so she was doing those instead of the in-person during COVID. So she had an updated emotional guidance scale. And so I added in the emotions into that. So maybe I'll include that. I'll have to find that and put that up. I'll have to get that going for you guys. But basically, you figure out where you're at on that scale. If you're in, like I had a person today that was in frustration most of the day, frustration and overwhelm. So then if you're stuck there, like that's what state you're in. So you are putting on a pair of glasses basically, or looking through a filter that is that of frustration or overwhelm. So when you say I'm overwhelmed, you're in that state. So therefore you are not going to be able to see anything that is different from that feeling that you're feeling. And so that's what happens. Like there's momentum that's created. It just keeps it going and going. It's faster and faster. So we say we're spiraling, we're stuck. And that's that momentum, that's that energy momentum behind it that's causing that feeling of being stuck and spiraling. So the scale kind of helps you. You basically try to move yourself up the scale just with a better feeling thought. And like I've said before, like a thought that feels 1% better, you just want to kind of pull yourself up that scale a little bit until you get to the top. That's the goal, where love and appreciation are, and joy. And so it's kind of a fun game to play with yourself, because if you know where you're at every day, you can kind of gauge, okay, the last couple weeks, I've been stuck in this feeling, whatever it worry may be. And that is why nothing is changing in your life, because you're thinking the same thoughts that you thought yesterday. And they say that I don't know who they is, but they say that we think the same thoughts, 95% of the same thoughts we thought yesterday we're thinking today. And we have 60 to 70,000 of them. So that's quite a lot. We do not have to wrangle, all of those thoughts, because that's not going to happen. That's too many. But you want to know what your dominant state is, and you want to know what some of your dominant thoughts are and your beliefs. And so it's very valuable to figure out where you're at, what energy you're in during the day, and look underneath it and say, okay, why am I feeling this way? Like, what caused this? What must I believe about me that is causing me to feel this way? And sometimes it'll be just like you're putting pressure on yourself. There's, not enough time, and all these things going on in our minds daily. And so you've got to kind of disrupt those thoughts and figure out, okay, why am I not just joyful right now? Like, what's causing this? Why can't I just decide to be happy? And you got to figure out, like, oh, well, maybe if I feel happy, it might be taken away. Or I've heard that before. Like, if I get happy, it might be taken away. Or if I get happy, I might actually grow as a person, and I'm scared of the unknown, of growing. That's one I've heard. I'm like, oh man, I didn't realize some of these were actual fears that people were having. And so recently I've kind of, come across some of these, and they seem to be very common. And like fear of the unknown and fear of change. Like, I don't know who I'm going to be without my problems. That's another one. Oh my God, who would you be without your problems? And remember this, I don't know if you've heard anybody say this, but they say the problem isn't the problem. And that rings so true. I didn't really understand that for a while. I was like, that makes sense, but I don't know. But how it would apply to what we're talking about with manifesting is The problem is not the problem. You see this problem outside of you and you say it's a problem, but really what's going on is your internal state is causing that. You are the cause, the external world is the effect. So you can't fix the effect. Like, you've got to fix the cause. That's what you got to work on. And the cause is the mental state and the assumptions and your beliefs, all of that combined. And your beliefs and assumptions cause the mental state. So you get to that root and you figure out, what is it that is driving my thoughts and beliefs about myself? What is going on here? What is going on here? You got to examine your state, because if you don't, you're just going to get the same thing over and over. You just will. And I don't want that for you. I want you to thrive and be happy and joyful. And we have been programmed to believe that we can't be that. A lot of people make a lot of money off of people who are sick, mentally or physically. And there's a lot of reasons why we were programmed to believe we didn't have power. And I won't go into all of those because that's just going to be too negative. But there's a lot of people that benefit from people being powerless. And so we don't want to do that anymore. There's been books that were written, at least 100 years ago, if not thousands of years ago, that talk about this stuff. Manifestation. That's just what it is. And it's been around and known for a long time. And we just don't talk about it enough. We think that we're powerless. We are looking at our external world and letting that dictate how we feel. And it needs to be the opposite. We need to get inside and create feelings, even when there's no evidence of what we want. And so this goes back to practicing becoming the version of yourself that you want to become, and deciding this is who I am now. And you want to align your thoughts and beliefs and everything with that identity. You're going to change your identity from self 1 to self 2. And so which feels better, self 1 or self 2? Okay, self 1 feels not so good. So we got to make some changes, and they have to be internal. You can't look outside of yourself and expect your children, your spouse, your partner, your friends, your boss, like all the people you interact with, and all the events. You cannot expect anybody or anything to change until you change. And that's where your power is. And a lot of people don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that they have to do this internal work. I think a lot of people are probably, I'm assuming from what I've heard, it's scary, possibly. To me, what's scary is staying the same and getting the same thing over and over. And sometimes we're addicted to staying the same because it's comfortable and it's familiar. So question yourself, am I just staying stuck because it's comfortable and familiar? That can be a real wake-up call for a lot of people. And so when you start to actually think about, what kind of life do I want to design for myself? Because you can design your life any way you want it. It does not matter what you're going through right now. You can have anything you want, and you can feel so amazing that you won't even believe how much you can actually change, and change your whole world just by changing your insides. When you go inside. And I love a couple of my favorite things to do are visualization, of course. You just visualize yourself with in the identity of the person that already has what you're wanting. You're not manifesting anything. Remember, you're manifesting, or you're aligning with the identity of the person that already has what you're wanting, that already has it. So it's already manifested. You've already got it. And so when you think from the person that already has that, that's when things start to move around and show up. Very, very interesting. And I bet that none of us have practiced this 100% of the time. So we're probably, this is why we might not have the results that we could have. But what if you practice this every day? Just like working out, it's like building muscles. You've got to kind of work on that at least a few times a week to build the muscle. And this is like you're developing really valuable skills. In fact, I think knowing yourself and learning how to be a precise, conscious manifester are the most valuable skills we can learn. And you're already the most perfect manifester you can possibly be right now. The only thing we can do is refine why we manifested the things that we have manifested, like why they showed up that way. That's how you become more precise and conscious, because you're already manifesting all the time and you're perfect at it. We've been doing it since we were born. We've been doing it forever. We just didn't know it. No one taught us this. And so once we realize this, that we have control over many, many things, then it becomes fun, because you get to know you, and you get to know what state you're in, and you get to see what evidence pops up as you're in certain states, and you kind of play with it and change things up and feel peace and love inside yourself. Create that state and see what happens. Create anger in yourself, see what happens. Like, watch what happens. It's very, very interesting. Things will shift. I've had so many things shift the last couple of days, even just by like doing a little like experiments. And maybe I'll do some videos about experiments. That'll be kind of fun. But another thing, real quick, is inner conversations. So watch what you're doing inside your mind. Neville Goddard says that whatever we say in secret, they can hear us. The people can hear us. Whoever we're thinking about, if we're having a conversation or a fight, an argument in our head with someone, whatever we're thinking about, they can hear it. They just don't know they can hear it, but energetically they can feel it coming off of you. So I thought that was really interesting, and that rings very true, I would say, a lot of the time. And so go inside your mind and have conversations with people that, and we can do revision too. Like if you had a horrible conversation with somebody, you had a fight or something, go inside your mind and really create this beautiful scene with this person. Have it be exactly like you wanted it to be. Have it be on the beach even. Just have a great conversation on the beach with somebody. And the conversation went exactly as you wish it would have happened. You each say the most beautiful things to each other, whatever it is. And then you create that state just from imagining this. That's the point, is just getting into the state of having that. And also, so that's revision, and then inner conversations are just simply going inside your mind, and you're doing it already anyway. If you notice, like if you'll just stop and notice yourself. A lot of times we're not noticing ourselves and we're distracted. We're outside of our bodies. We're dissociated. It's so many things. And if you go back in your body and be like, okay, I'm present, I'm right here. Okay, what am I thinking and feeling, and what conversations am I having inside my head? You know, what banter is going on up there that's useless, you know, and start directing it towards what's useful, and have conversations with people about like, congratulations, you know, I can't believe it, you did it, you know, whatever it is, like money or a relationship or anything that you want to change. Just have this conversation with a couple people in your head, and hug each other and make a big scene out of it. Maybe have balloons and a cake, and you're having a party. You're having a celebration party that you won the lottery, or you got your awesome job you've been wanting, or you're getting married, you're pregnant, anything. Just have fun with it and create the mental state. A lot of people don't want to visualize too. They don't want to visualize because they feel like once they wake up from the visualization that they'll be disappointed that they don't have it. I've heard that too. And the first point of it is to start training your brain to feel what it feels like to be happy and to actually have something that you want and to get excited. And then we just let that go. And you practice that every time you start to feel down. Again, go inside your mind and visualize if you have to. You might visualize this thing 100 times a day if you have to. But if you're spiraling, then that might be a good thing to practice. Say, no, I'm going to quit this addiction to spiraling. I'm going to go inside my mind. I'm going to train myself to be right here in this scene, and I'm going to create this feeling again. And your brain and body don't know the difference. They think it's happening right now. The universe doesn't care either. It's like, yep, this is happening now. So we must bring this to her or him. We must bring this to the queen or king. It has no choice. It's law. It has to bring this to you at some point. And you just let go of the how, and you just have fun with the visualization in itself to create the state. You're just creating a state. That's all you're doing. That's the goal, just to feel good. And then you watch what happens. And that's what I do. I just have fun with it. And I say, golly, this will be such a cool day, you know, to see what happens. Just to watch what emails, phone calls, texts, what happens in sessions, the synchronicities that happen. It's just crazy what happens when you start shifting your state. It's magical. It really is. So practice this, have fun with this. I'm doing this little 5-day money challenge with Scott Haug. He's on YouTube and he's awesome. And I'm in one of his programs and he's just a great, great guy. And today was day 2 and I'm going to do my own money challenge. I can't wait to do this stuff more in depth with when I create my membership and all the things I want to do. I cannot wait. But I'm on day 2 of this money challenge. Tomorrow's day 3, but the day's over today. But one of the things he wanted us to say was, I believe in the miraculous. And he said to say that all day long. And that most people do not believe in miracles. And that we're programmed to not believe in miracles. We really are. So start telling yourself, I believe in the miraculous. Start saying that. And I'm going to pump this into you too. Every day we've been talking about, this is a theme the last couple days. We've been saying you are loved. So I want you to say that to yourself. You are loved, and that I believe in the miraculous. Just start saying these things. Put them on your mirror if you need to look at them. And I'll say the classic, don't forget to appreciate yourself, because what you appreciate appreciates. So remember that too. Appreciate yourself for getting out of bed today. Appreciate yourself for watching this YouTube video and staying till the end. We'll see how many people stay till the end. So thank you for watching. I so appreciate you guys, and take good care of yourselves. Look in the mirror today and tonight and say, I love you, and just give yourself that joy. You know, you deserve it. Just, you're awesome. And we got to remember how awesome we are. We're just amazing human beings having this awesome experience. And you got to train yourself to see the good and know that you're creating everything. You have the power to turn any situation around. It does not matter what it is. I don't care if you heard no yesterday, you can hear yes today. It does not matter. Circumstances do not matter. Do not let that 3D reality control you. It has zero control over you. It does not matter. And you just start practicing these things. And remember to implement. Remember to not... I love if you binge my videos and other people's videos. It's fun to do, but take this information and implement it. I'm saying some of the same things every day as repetition. We need repetition to remember, because sometimes we forget what we learned the day before. So practice these things, make them part of your day. This is going to be a lifestyle for you. You're never going to really stop doing all this. The techniques and things like that, you don't have to do forever, obviously, unless you want to, but changing our states, we got to change our states all the time. That's going to be forever. So just practice. You can do this. You can get yourself out of any negative feeling at any time in your life, and or any time during your day. And with practice, you'll become a master. I promise you. You want to master yourself is what you're looking for. So thank you again for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you'd like to. And I'd love to have you in my little community of people. And if this helped you, please share it with somebody who might benefit from the information. And I would appreciate that a lot. So thank you again, and I will be back tomorrow. Bye.